Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Just Another Effing Podcast. I am your host, the proud boy of the Boston Bruins, the JFB, James from Boston.
And it's me, your Canadian hero, Canada Dry.
That gets me every time. I love it.
I got to change it up and just get a little singing in there.
So
good to be here. It's a very exciting episode. We got
a
our
special
good
guest.
friend Natalia Markova on the show.
Absolutely.
Let's start it off, JP.
I'm going to start off with some news. How about this? There's a possible exclusivity between WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling. I have to say, when I heard this, I almost threw up. I almost vomited.
But did you see Tony Khan's promo?
I did not see it. Not yet.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, you got to watch this promo, everyone. He just slams Nick Khan, calls him a con man from Connecticut. And he's like, he bragged about his connections in New Japan and everyone he's had in. And he's like, and I'm not even done. I still have plans for the U.S. title. So,
wow. I gotta say this. Back in the day, WCW had their affiliation with New Japan Pro Wrestling. WWE was actually affiliated with All Japan. So there's some history with them with Japanese promotions, but here's the thing: Jado and Gato, absolutely, they book like the old Memphis territories. That's what wrestling they fell in love with, and that's how they book currently right now. And nothing against Memphis wrestling. It is probably one of the best territories to ever come out in the 70s and the 80s. I cannot see this happening, because you know how Vince is. He's not going to put over anybody that's not from his company.
And I agree with you on that, because what has Vince McMahon ever done for Japanese wrestling ever?
Nothing.
Asuka, maybe? That's about it.
That's about it. I mean, you look at all the Japanese wrestlers he has buried over his career, and more currently is Shinsuke Nakamura. I think he's floundering in WWE. He's nowhere near where he was when he left New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, it's unfortunate that hopefully this is just rumor and innuendo. Let's hope there's absolutely no truth to this whatsoever, but it has been making the circles around the wrestling news.
Well, when Tony Khan did that promo, I was like, is he working with WWE too? Like, I was like, but yeah, Tony Khan's a character.
Tony Khan is awesome. That's why we love AEW. We love Tony Khan. The second one, Dana Warrior, wife of the Ultimate Warrior, slammed the Dark Side of the Ring episode about her husband, the Warrior, calling it smut and filth. So Dark Side of the Ring decides to go ahead and make a shirt called Smut and Filth, and they are taking all the proceeds at the pro wrestling store, at Pro Wrestling Tees. They're going to take all the proceeds from that shirt and they're going to donate it to a trans teen charity. So
really cool.
Yeah. So Dana Warrior is slamming Dark Side of the Ring because of a more accurate portrayal of say the Warrior versus the A&E biography, which obviously paints him as being the most perfect guy in the world. Which, well,
they didn't, but they kind of seen him come out better on the other side.
Yeah, they glanced over a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
like no shows, keeping the title hostage. I mean, the list goes on and on. But yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. I like Dana Warrior. She's she's very inspirational on her podcast. She's very inspirational on social media. But I thought it was brilliant that Dark Side of the Ring decided to take the smut and filth and make it into a t-shirt.
And I understand where Dana Warrior is coming from.
Yeah.
But I understand where Dark Side of the Ring is coming from as well.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so this weekend, actually tonight, ladies and gentlemen, yes. Double or Nothing, the big pay-per-view from AEW. And what are your two matches you're looking forward to?
The Stadium Stampede.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. And what about you? I'll come up with
Stadium
my second.
Stampede is for me as well, but Rhodes versus Ogogo. I watched Ogogo wrestle in the Olympics, and that guy is a beast of an athlete. I mean, that guy's built like a brick shit house to begin with, but holy cow, that guy can. You know, he's a little. He reminds me of Kurt Angle when Kurt Angle first came in. You know, making that translation from amateur to pro. You know,
I always like to see what the Bucks are doing.
Yeah.
This tag team match with Kingston and Moxley.
Yeah.
It should be good because the Bucks always manage to put on a 5-star match.
Yeah, and that team up of Moxley and Eddie Kingston, the Mad King, actually really good. I actually like it a lot. I didn't think I was going to like that as a tag team, but man, they just work so great together.
And you really want, especially for Kingston, you want Kingston to have some gold.
Oh yeah, yeah, it'd be nice.
For them.
You know, it's funny. I was listening to Jericho's podcast, and he was talking about Eddie Kingston. Was wondering. He said aloud, "Why has this guy not been discovered?" Because he's been in the Indies for well over 10 years. I mean, I think it's close to 20. And the guy's got mic skills. The guy works really smooth in the ring. He carries himself really well. How has he not been discovered? TNA is the biggest promotion he's ever been in that I know, at least that I know of.
And he had a cup of coffee there. He wasn't there too long, was he?
Yeah, he was there for like, I don't know, a couple months.
Yeah.
Then he got that Starve or Survive or whatever that stupid thing is where you either win a contract or you go home if you lose.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
That's how they wrote him off of the show. They made him lose. They made him job to some other guy, and
credit Cody Rhodes for bringing him in for that TNT title shot. He won everyone over with that match right away.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you didn't love Eddie Kingston before that match, you're gonna definitely love him afterwards. I'll tell you the match I'm not looking forward to this week for Double or Nothing, and that's the Omega Pac Orange Cassidy. I don't know why that triple threat match just not speak to me whatsoever.
Some of them don't appeal to me, but I'm open to have them prove me wrong and show me. Yeah. AEW manages to prove me wrong a lot when they have shows, and I'm just like, I didn't know that was going to be good, but it was.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you know, even the opening match, Serena Deeb versus Riho. I mean, obviously, it's not going to end the way we think it. We hope it's going to end with Rio getting the belt. Deeb will definitely retain the belt for sure,
and we're going to have full capacity at the show. And this, like, she's a heel, but Britt Baker is going to blow the roof off when she wins that women's championship.
DMD. You know what? That's the one match I'm sure when both of us are in AFW, all effing wrestling prediction league, and filling out the form this morning. The only one I was really sure of was Sheeta's going to lose to Britt Baker. And she is.
We've been talking a while about that title, and they finally gave. It's pretty much identical, but it's big.
It's a lot bigger, as it should be. I mean, you have the men's belt behind you, and it's a beautiful belt. It is an absolutely gorgeous belt. Whoever designed that belt for them deserves all the praise in the world. But that women's belt was a second thought. That was an afterthought.
Yeah, and it's not the design on it; it's just the size. So they just needed to make it bigger, and they did.
Yeah,
and that's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm glad they did because it looks really good. So Double or Nothing is tonight. Don't spoil it. The JFB is watching the Bruins tonight instead of Double or Nothing. I'll watch Double or Nothing tomorrow morning.
Perfect.
Yeah, gotta support the Boston Bruins, baby. Gotta support the Bees.
What's hockey? I don't know what that is.
All right, guys. So coming up in a second, we will have our special guest, Natalia Markova. So stay tuned, and we'll see you on the flip side. All right. Hey, guys, and welcome back. We have a special guest. This is the meat if you will, of the episode. We have one of the hottest indie female wrestlers on the block, Natalia Markova. Welcome to Just Another Effing Podcast.
Welcome, Natalia.
Hi,
How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. So I guess my first question is, how long have you been wrestling for?
14 years. I know it sounds like a lot, but I think it was worth it. I have a lot of experience at this point and still learning.
Yeah.
How old were you, Natalia, when you started?
I was like 17. Yeah, 17.
That is crazy that you started at 17.
Yeah.
So how difficult was the transition coming from Russia to the US?
It was not really difficult for me because basically I was all over the world before I came to US. So, I lived my whole life in Moscow, but I was traveling so much. First country I went to was Japan. I was there a lot of times, definitely more than 10. So different cultures all over Europe, Asian countries, Arabic countries. So coming to US was not really a transition. It was just another step for me.
Yeah.
And my best step, I would say. I really love being in Florida. So yeah, no transition, just keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you have to retrain? I know every place has a different style. Obviously, the US style of wrestling is a lot different than, say, Japan or anything else. Did you have to kind of retrain yourself to accommodate more of an American audience?
Well, actually, yes, that's a good part about my wrestling career. Something that I really like, that my style is just a mix of everything. Because like I said, originally I trained, like first training was in Russia. There was a guy, his name Vadim Karagian. He trained in Canada originally. At Killer Kowalski School. And then he came to Russia, he opened the school. So that's where was my basic first training. Then somehow, I don't know, I was just lucky. Japanese promotion noticed me. They offered me a deal. So I went to Japan. That was my first foreign country. I trained there and it was so different. And that's my main school, I would say, because that's where my strong style came from, my kicks, my punches, forearms, all this stuff, plus a lot of, conditioning stuff. They're so crazy about it. They love it. So yeah, Japanese is my main thing. Then
Kenny Omega there, right?
Yeah. I was staying at the same dojo with El Generico and Kenny Omega. I met him there. It was so nice to see Kenny a few weeks ago at AEW, but we'll talk about it later anyway. So yeah, about the styles. Then from Japan, I went to Europe. I was all over Europe. I would say the main guy in Europe who was kind of like my coach and mentor was Starbuck, Michael. He's really good with storytelling and, kind of like showing your personality. So I mixed Japanese style with a little bit of European style. And then I went to US. And the guy I got to give credit in US was Brian Idol. He had a school. So he taught me a lot about psychology too, about how you show a story, again, like different angle, American kind of style. Yeah. So big credit to him for that. And then I trained a little bit with Matt Seidel too. So I'm really grateful that I had to meet all these people in my life to teach me different styles. So basically at this point, I'm combination of Japanese style, strong Japanese style with the American psychology, which I prefer the most.
Yeah. So I know you do a lot of high flying too. Do you like the high flying as well, or?
I do like high flying. I think that it's just always good time for it. You don't need to do a lot of high flying unless you're a high flyer. I'm not a high flyer. Yeah. I can do some stuff to be cool, yeah. But I think I just gotta place it right. I'm more into like actual fight real looking, and I like brawling. I like strong style. Safe, strong style is my favorite. So yeah, high flying is cool for me. Should be not too much of it.
Yeah. So not a spot monkey.
Okay, so when you were all over the world doing all your stuff, were you doing the hardcore kind of like going through tables there as well, or is this more since you've been to North America?
I'm more a sports style wrestler. Hardcore is something I'm totally able of, but I don't prefer doing
So,
hardcore.
no, I don't mean hardcore, but going through tables and doing those major bumps is what I more meant. Sorry, pardon me.
I mean, yeah, I was doing it my whole life. It's just, kind of something you don't need to really think about. So yeah, it's for me, it's just part of wrestling, which again, I don't prefer. But yeah, I was doing it my whole life, hardcore. Yes.
So who inspired you to become a professional wrestler? Before you were 17, were you watching wrestling as a kid? Who were some of the people that inspired you to become a wrestler?
First time I saw it was like, yeah, I watched wrestling when I was like 3 years old, and I think it was some WrestleMania, it was Shawn Michaels entrance, and I was so impressed with it. I was like, oh my God, that's what I want to do for my whole life. And then years after, I started watching it like for real with my normal clear mind when I was a little older. Yeah, I cannot really name a list of people that I'm really inspired by. It's like wrestling in common, I think, combination of different wrestlers just all together is really inspiring. It's what I love. I just love wrestling. That's what inspired me. I felt like I belong there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've watched a lot of your matches. You definitely have a fit for it,
Thanks.
We're going to get into some of the questions that we've had online from some of the people on Facebook and Twitter. The first one, it is by Mike A. Phillip on Facebook. He goes, what advice would you give for sticking to a consistent training regimen? He goes, I always love to see what athletes do behind the scenes.
Training means like fitness, right? Not wrestling.
Yeah. Not wrestling.
Well, as we all know, I'm a fitness coach too, professional trainer. So what I usually say to my clients is that try not to think about motivation, think about discipline. Because actually, when you try to, whatever goal you have, lose weight or gain muscles, it's all about being consistent and not stopping doing that. So whatever you start doing, you got to make sure that it's something you choose that you are able to do for the rest of your life. Don't just start doing something for 2 or 3 months. Yeah, you will be able to do it for a little bit, but then something bad happens in your life, you lose motivation, you're like, whatever, I'm going back to my normal. So it just gives no results, makes no sense. So think about it as a job, even though it's not, but at the same time, you got to work on it. Something you enjoy, but at the same time, something you will stick to forever. So discipline is the main thing. I always, when I feel bad, we'll have problems. Sometimes something bad happens. I'm like, okay, now this is the challenge. This is the time when you choose if you really want it or you don't want it. So this moment, you're gonna make sure that when it's hard, because when you have all motivation and you're ready to kill it, obviously you'll be doing that. Make sure on those moments when it feels wrong, everything is bad, you don't want to do it anymore, then you gotta keep doing it. So discipline, just make sure you stick to the plan no matter what. And that will help you being consistent and get results.
Our next question is from Jackknife Power Blog. What questions annoy you most on social media?
Oh, it's really not easy to make me feel annoyed with anything. So whatever people say online and ask, I like it anyway because they take their time to go into my social media to say stuff. And again, like even if I feel that it's not really smart or whatever, it doesn't mean I'm right. Maybe it's my problem. So I'm not really getting annoyed with whatever people say there. I just go with the flow. If I think that it's a strange question, I will just reply whatever I think about it. But no, I'm not feeling annoyed with questions.
That's good. The next one we have, what is your favorite food? And that is by Abhishek.
Food. That's my favorites. Well, everything. It's just my problem, I guess. I really like all junk food, like fast food, pizza, McDonald's, milkshakes. Oh my God, I love milkshakes. Ice cream, peanut butter ice cream with hot fudge and stuff, something like that. Chocolates. Those Lay's chips you got for me, by the way, guys. Yes. Thank you so much. Canadian thing.
People don't know, I sent Natalia some ketchup chips that you can only get here in Canada.
Yeah, we don't have it in US, so I like the flavor. Okay, my favorite food is all junk food. Unfortunately, I cannot eat too much of it, but that's
so you have cheat days, right?
Yeah. It depends on my schedule, if I have shows, I'm trying not to eat bad at all. But yeah, once a month in 2 months or 3 months, depending on circumstances, I have cheat days.
And so you like once a month or whatnot, depending on your schedule?
Yeah. I mean, okay, don't take it as a personal advice to you if you're trying to be in shape or something. That's my thing. That's what is comfortable for me, that what works for me. So yeah, I do it around once a month.
James, you got a question?
Yeah, I do. So who do you watch right now, wrestling wise? I mean, what wrestlers do you go out of the way to watch?
I watch all kinds of wrestling. There's no certain wrestler I follow and go out of my way to watch. I definitely like Japanese wrestling, New Japan. I think they're awesome. And I obviously follow main promotions like WWE, AEW. They have great wrestlers there. NXT has really high level of performance, and like tonight is the AEW pay-per-view I'm going to watch. So yeah, all wrestling, whatever it is.
Just can't get enough of it.
Yeah. Cannot get enough of it.
Awesome.
So Dallas asks, do you have a favorite gimmick match? And what gimmick match would you like to be in?
Gimmick match. You got to explain this to me. I'm foreign.
Stipulation, like hardcore, steel cage, whatever.
I like regular sports wrestling. I'm boring in this regard. So I think the less gimmicks, the better. Just sports match, singles match, one-on-one with your opponent, and tell the story.
I think you would be really good in an Iron Man match or an Iron Woman match, I guess.
I mean, I would do that. Yes, that would be interesting. Hard on the stamina, but yeah, I would do that.
I think you could do it though. I think that you could pull that off with your.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy that you believe in me.
Of course.
So obviously last year was kind of a weird year for everybody. COVID hit, and everybody was kind of forced to stay at home. How did COVID affect you professionally?
I think in a good way, because that's my mentality, that whatever bad happens, I'm trying to flip it into something good. Because why would I just suffer and like being upset or miserable and then just lose my results? So what I decided for myself, since I'm all isolated and nothing really going on in life, I just focused on my looks, on my shape, my performance. So basically the whole pandemic, I was just training really hard, eating clean, and trying to be the best version of me I possibly can. And that's why I'm kind of like, after thinking that COVID for me, I mean, it's a bad thing, obviously, but I just made the most of it. So I changed. You see my hair color, everything changed. I just transformed myself into the better version of me. And I think that's the best thing you can do in life. Whatever bad happens, make the most of it.
Yeah.
J Rock on Twitter asks, what career path would you have chosen if not professional wrestling?
That's really tough. I mean, something definitely not with the paperwork. I hate all this, like sitting in the office and working, learning papers, even though I have a law degree, but that's not something I would choose. That was mostly for my parents, for them to be happy. They wanted me to be a serious, smart person. So that's kind of
If
like,
we have trouble with the law, we can call you to get us out of jail, right?
Probably not. My degree is in Russian. My degree is Russian, and American laws, unfortunately, they're different from Russian laws. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe I can have like a small course here, like 1 year, just to transform from Russian to USA. But like again, like I said, it's not something I wanted. It was mostly for my person developments, just to have another check in my life. I would choose being a personal trainer at the gym, because that's a big part of my life. I work out myself all the time. I know a lot of bodybuilders, always improving, learning. So that's something I'm into. Plus, it works well together with pro wrestling. But even if we don't take pro wrestling at all in regard, that would be personal trainer. I like working with people, not with papers. I think this job is something that helps you in life, being active. You know, you're always running around. You always talk to different people, meet different people. When I was a personal trainer in Moscow, there was a huge gym in downtown, really big one, or one of the best ones. And I had a lot of clients from different countries. So it was like India, Africa, I think it was a lot of Africans. Ghana was an African country I climbed from. Then it was people. There were people from China. There were people even from US. So that's kind of like it's interesting to meet different people and talk to them. That's more of my personality. So yeah, that would be my job.
Awesome. So if you had an opportunity for a dream match, any man, woman, past, present, future, who would you take on in the ring?
That's the question that I get asked a lot, and I always reply that I'm sorry, guys. There's no one dream opponent, and I will not name anyone. I'm really, really, really ready to wrestle anyone, any person in the world. Even if it's just some guy who wrestles for 2 months and then I go and wrestle them, I would like to, because it's new, it's different experience. Everyone is different. So I'm learning from every match I have, and no dream matches. I just want wrestling in any form.
One of the first things that I said to you is that me and you have to have a match. We said
well,
and
you have all chances, that means, right?
I'm coming for the Nova Championship. So the next question is from Marco Antonia Marshall. What was running through your head just before your match on AEW Dark?
Probably the same thing that's running through my head before any match. I was just crazy nervous, and I'm like, oh, I want everything to go well. I want to do well. I'm so nervous. I feel it every time whenever I wrestle. No matter how many years I wrestle for, I still feel this way. And good news that once I'm out there and I'm not behind the curtain anymore, I'm totally good. I feel happy. So yeah, that was my main thoughts. They were like about, I just gotta do well, no matter what, as usual.
And that match, you sold so well.
Yeah.
like you made that German suplex look like gold, and you made Layla Hirsch look really good.
She is good. I mean, she's a good wrestler.
Yeah,
Very,
she is
very.
for sure.
Anyway, wrestling is two people, and obviously both people should work well for good results. And I enjoyed working with her. And yeah, that was a great, great experience.
Who got in contact with you from AEW?
I don't think I need to disclose this confidential information.
Okay.
It was AEW.
Yeah. Okay. So what other promotions have you, I know you wrestle for Shine. What other promotions have you wrestled for that you really enjoyed working with?
That's a huge list of promotions. I mean, I'll be sitting here all day naming all the promotions. I mean, obviously Japanese promotions, GGT Pro, that's the first one I worked with in Japan. It was Sanshiro Takagi. Great guy, great coach. I enjoyed that. Then I came back to Japan for Tajiri. There was WMC, former Smash promotion. Another great experience and different style, by the way, from DDT. And then the other Japanese promotion is Marvelous, Chigusa Nagaya. I love her. This lady is the best. She's a legend in Japan. She's a great coach. I love her. Nagaya-san, if you listen to this somehow, I love you. You're the best. She taught me a lot, and she's kind of a mentor to me. Not just wrestling, just
What is her name again? Can you say that again?
Chigusa Nagaya.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome lady. And in Europe, like I said, slam wrestling in Finland, I think I would probably kind of like highlight this one because Michael Starbuck, the guy I mentioned before, is a really smart guy, and he deserves the best in wrestling. He has charisma, he's good on microphone, he has all the knowledge. So that promotion, every time I went there, I was treating really well. That was awesome. The other good memory is probably Turkey, because I had a huge show there. It was a huge crowd, like 17,000 people, huge arena. We were treated like just stars, 5 stars hotels, best food. I really enjoyed that trip. So if some of my Turkish fans watching there, hi to you and thank you for being so I don't know what's the word for it. Hospital, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, in America, my favorite guys were always WWN, because they were the ones who originally kind of like discovered me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I started with ACW, then I went up to Shine and doing FIP, Evolve. I really enjoyed working with Evolve, big professionals. Everything is always top notch. No complaints about those guys. They're really, really good company. And yeah, my recent stuff that I did were like WWE, AEW. It's the next level, obviously, big promotions, and you feel they're professionals. That was a great experience for sure.
Yeah. So when you were in AEW recently on Dark, did you get to meet a lot of the AEW wrestlers, and if so, who was some of your favorites that you talked to?
I mean, I obviously met everyone. We were in the same locker room doing stuff. So I talked to everyone. Everyone was nice. And yeah, no one person like, oh, wow, this guy was nice. Yeah. Everyone was awful. No, everyone was nice. Everyone was professional, respectful. I felt like I belong, like I'm home. So that was an awesome atmosphere there. Nice people.
And we hope after Double or Nothing that we'll get to see you on Dark and Elevation and even Dynamite soon. And hopefully that you will get a contract very soon.
Well, see what's going to happen. You got to wait on updates on my social media. I post everything.
Yes, we all got our fingers crossed, and we're all praying for you to get the best for you.
Yeah, plus we're tweeting Tony. We're planning on tweeting Tony Khan about once every hour until he signs you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tony Khan gets a lot of tweets.
Yeah.
He's an easy guy. Yeah.
For people that don't know, we have been Team Markova for at least a year.
Yeah.
We've been really on Twitter helping and trying to promote Natalia so much, and it's it's been just such a joy to be on your team and trying to help you all this time.
Thank you so much, guys. Like, let me take this moment once I'm here talking to you. Really, really, really appreciate your support. It's really nice to see that you have people who are on your side no matter what, that would support you no matter what. It means a lot, and you're the best. I really appreciate that very much. And I hope that your podcast will grow. I hope it will become one of the biggest in the country. I'm trying to help you too. As much as I can, teamwork, I'm all for it. But yeah, it's really awesome that I have people kind of like fighting for me all the time. That's really nice.
So just to switch gears here, back to the questions. From Twitch, he asks, he's a referee in the Indies in Canada here. How often do you use the refs in your matches?
Use the refs. I don't really use those guys. I mean, I respect referee. I think that those guys are in charge of the match. They control the whole process. So I have all respect to refs, and I never touch those. I think they should do their job, and I should do my job, which is wrestling, and not using refs. I don't.
So to understand the question better, is there people that use the referees more to kind of like kind of help you get the story going and stuff, kind of like that? Is that what is he meaning?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't do any of that. I think the ref should be reffing the match.
Okay.
Cool. Well, we're getting close to the end, so we'll let you go ahead and self-promote. So go ahead and tell us where everybody can find you at, what you have going on soon. Give us some deets. Give us some details of what's going on.
Well, first step to support me would be following me all my social media. Twitter is my main source of information. That's where I am the most. I try to talk to you guys, interact with everyone, because I really appreciate that. You take your time to comment and like my stuff, retweet it if you can. We gotta spread the word. So boring. Anyway, yeah. Twitter. Then go to you will put all this stuff in the caption, right? So people can can go there. I will not name names here.
Yeah,
so
we'll
Twitter, Instagram too, I post. So the thing about me that all my social media is different. I put different pictures, something on Instagram, something on Twitter, something on Patreon. I just created a Patreon account. So guys, go ahead and follow me, because there I'm trying to show more of my normal life, kind of like my food, what I eat or where I go. I'm like, oh, wow, look at this scenery. I just saw that. Oh, this is me eating pizza finally. Whatever I do.
So you also have a big match coming up on Shine, June 13th versus Ivelisse.
Yes. Whoever lives in Florida, guys, come see me, Shine, Newport Richie, Gulfview Event Center, June 13th. Make sure, don't miss that. I will be selling my new merchandise there, new pictures, maybe even t-shirts. We'll see what's gonna happen. But yes, I really want to see you guys there. I miss live crowd. Whoever wants to come, I'll be there. Ivelisse is an awesome wrestler. I love her. I think she's great. I can't wait to be in the ring with her. That would be a great match.
And so you could walk away with as double champion, right?
Yes, this match is for Shine Championship. So that means I can become a double Shine champion, which is exciting. Can't wait.
We can start calling her Natalia Two Straps.
Yep.
You can start calling me like that now. I don't mind.
All right. Man, it was awesome talking to you. I am a huge fan of yours. Aaron is the one who got me turned on to you, and I just watched just buttloads of your matches. Anything I could devour, I watched. You are an absolutely amazing talent, and I can't wait to see exactly where you go with this career of yours.
And we want to see a rocket strapped to your back. Yeah, and we want to see you on top of the world.
Thanks. I can't wait for that. Hopefully it's going to happen soon, and we'll celebrate it in the other podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have you back.
We look forward to when you're super famous, and, and we'll have you on that.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course, absolutely. You're welcome anytime. You're a friend of the show, so anytime you want to come on in and talk, our door's always open. We'll be more than happy to have you on.
That's awesome. So one small note for my fans: if you're watching this podcast right now, follow these guys too. They're big supporters of mine. If you follow them, you're kind of supporting me too. So go follow. How do you spell the name? FN Wrestling?
Yeah, that's FN Wrestling.
FN Wrestling. I don't know. I want to say that word. Yeah, follow FN Wrestling.
There you go. That works. All right. Thank you very much, Natalia.
Thank you so much. Have an awesome rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, welcome back. Hey, that was an awesome interview. Thank you so much, Natalia Markova, for coming on the show. Like I said in the beginning, she is probably one of the hottest, most talented free agent indie wrestling for female right now. I'd say even males. I can't think of anybody on the indie circuit that's
Tony Khan, you need to sign this woman. Get her under contract and get her for as many years as you can.
I'm telling you right now, Tony Khan, I'm going to tweet you every hour on the hour starting Monday until you sign Natalie Markova. Supposedly he reads all his tweets. So
Natalia.
Yeah, Natalia, that's it. Natalia.
You're Americanizing her. But she's happy with that.
All right. So with that being said, next week we do another deep dive on all things about the dead man. That is right. Next week is the Undertaker. We're going to deep dive on the Undertaker. We're going to talk about his career from start to finish. We're going to talk about our top 5 favorite matches of all time of Undertakers. So that's going to be interesting. That's next week. And then don't forget, okay, on YouTube, we have another show. It's called Wrestling with the Paranormal, and it is on YouTube. Subscribe and love it because that show is awesome. The JFB
and you'll get this show as well when you subscribe.
What's that?
You'll get this show as well when you subscribe.
Yeah, you'll get this show when you subscribe, but it is awesome. It is so awesome to talk about paranormal activity. I've been on the show. I talked about the ghost that lives in my house. If you want to know more, you have to go and listen to wrestling.
Yeah, and it's all from wrestling fans' point of view.
Yeah, which is really awesome. So subscribe. You'll get both shows. Visit our Pro Wrestling Tee store. That's right. The JFB, Canada Dry, all effing wrestling. We have a storefront, and it is awesome. And our first shirt is out. It is the effing Flipping the Bird shirt. It is out, $19.99. If you get it tomorrow, Monday, today, Monday, when it lands, it's still 20% off. So it's a good time to put a T on your back and support.
And that's prowrestlingtees.com/effingwrestling.
Yep. So go to our Pro Wrestling Tees. Follow us on Twitter, effing wrestling, at effing wrestling. Like us on Facebook. On Facebook, our Facebook page is effing wrestling as well. And perhaps maybe you'll be so lucky enough to join the All Effin' Wrestling League, and you can take on Canada Dry and the JFB in a prediction league and see if you got the cojones to beat the JFB.
And Canada Dry. All right. It's been a great show. I'm ecstatic. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, next week is going to be awesome, guys. Undertaker, don't forget to follow us. Don't forget, you can find the podcast on Apple, Spotify, and all your awesome podcast platforms. For the JFB
and Canada,
we will see you on the ringside.